Si Levi Silerio ay isang prolific lyricist at isang composer sa nagdaang dekada. He effortlessly translated and wrote a new lyrics to the traditional melodies such as O Maliwanag na Buwan, Ako ay May Singsing, Alibangbang, and among others. Kapag pinag-uusapan natin ng mga tanyag na Filipino artist, isa si Levi Silerio sa pinakakilala. Over his lifetime, he wrote and composed countless original Filipino music, OPM, folk songs, at Christmas songs. Ang pinakasikat na kantang Pampasko na kanyang isinulat ay para bagang naisaulo na ng bawat Pilipino. At maaaring hindi ganoon kakilala si Levi Silerio sa makabagong henerasyon, ngunit sigurado ako na ang liriko sa kantang Ang Pasko ay Sumapit ay hindi kailanman mawawala. Si Guillermo Estrella Tolentino ay isang produkto na revival period sa Philippine art. Pagkabalik galing ng Europa na kung saan siya ay nag-enroll sa Royal Academy of Fine Arts Rome, totoong 1925, ay agad siyang inappoint bilang profesor sa University of the Philippines School of Fine Arts. Nagkaroon siya ng ideya na magpatayo ng isang monumento para alalahanin ang mga naging bayani sa ating bansa. Ang naging resulta nito ay ang UP Oblation that became the symbol of freedom in the campus. Kininala bilang masterpiece ni Tolentino at natapos sa taong 1933. Ang monumento ni Bonifacio na nakatindig sa Caloocan stands as a symbol of Filipinos' cry for freedom. Ito ay naging daan upang alalahanin ang revolusyon na pinangunahan ni Andres Bonifacio.
The background information of the artist. So now let me introduce the artist of this art, Anita Magsaysay Ho. She is the first cousin to former President Ramon Magsaysay, is one of the Philippines' pioneering modernist painters. One interesting idea, she was the pupil of Fernando Amorsolo, whose influence can sometimes be seen in her landscape artworks, such as the Fish Harbor at Dawn and 3 Women in a Landscape. However, her personal signature is independent of her famous picture and lies not just in her style, but also in her subjects, which most notably are women at work. Brief history of each. Magsaysay Ho portrays women with high cheekbones, slanted eyes, and beautiful morena skin. They are more often than not surrounded by nature, harvesting crops, selling fish, or shipping grain. And Alfredo Rosas, in Face of Women, published in 2005, Magsaysay Ho talks about why women are her subject of choice. She says, in my works, I always celebrate the women of the Philippines. I regard them with deep admiration, and they continue to inspire me their movements and gestures, their expressions of happiness and frustration, their diligence and shortcomings, the joy of living. I know very well the strength, hard work, and quiet dignity of Philippine women, for I am one of them. Information of the artist. Let's introduce Carlos Batong Francisco. Signature lies not just the subject of his work, most of which depict sense of deep-rooted Filipino histories, but also in his medium, a moralist at heart, Batong Francisco helped revive the form in Manila. His work can now be seen in the City Hall of Manila as well as in the National Museum. The brief history of each. A storyteller through and through, Francisco's works have captured narrative closest to our collective conscience. He has created murals of the first mass in the Philippines, results that at the hands of the god Jezebel, and the iconic reimagining of Andres Bonifacio charging against the Spaniards with the fake king.
Kilalanin natin si Ronald Kelly Poe o mas kilalang Fernando Poe Jr. o The King. Was Filipino actor, director, and politician. His a long career and action film star earned him the nickname King of Philippine Movies. Poe was after then selected a National Artist of the Philippines from film on May 23, 2016 by former President Macapagal Arroyo. At award was conferred by former President Benigno Aquino III on July 20, 2012 and was presented to his family on August 16. Juan Luna de Son was a Filipino painter, sculptor, and political art visit on the Philippine Revolution during the 19th century. He became one of the first recognized Filipino artists. He's winning the gold medal in 1984 Mandan Exposition of the Fine Arts, along with the silver win of few Filipino painters. Felix Salgado promoted a celebration which was a major highlight in the memories of members of the propaganda movement.
Benedicto Cabrera is popularly known as Benca, was born on August 27, 1942 in Malabon City, and he is a Filipino painter who was named as National Artist of the Philippines for Visual Arts. He has been described as the best-selling painters in his time. The Benca style is termed figurative art, which describes any form of modern art that embodies strong elements related to the real world and particularly to the human figures. And now, I'd like to present you Jose Hoya. A Filipino pioneer, Jose Hoya, the son of Jose Hoya Sr. and Asuncion Tanig, was born on June 3, 1931. He began drawing when he was 11 years old. In 1964, Hoya represented the country in the Viñas Bienal, showcasing the advancement of modern arts in the Philippines. The Jose Hoya notable painting from 1958 called Grenadier Arabis is a large-scale yellow nude mural that features clusters of sand and impastro. His harmonious colors are influenced by Philippines landscape and tropical twilight.
Pasita Abad was a modern painter born in Basco, Batanes, Philippines. She studied painting at the Corcoran School of Art in Washington, D.C. and the Art Student League in New York. Abad's travel had a profound influence on her life and work. Her early paintings were largely figurative and social and political, dealing with issues such as hunger. Pasita Abad also got a 10 Outstanding Young Men Award for Art in the Philippines last July 31, 1984, making her the first woman to ever receive this prestigious award. This artwork was from her series Immigrant Experience in 1992, which depicts the stories of the refugees and immigrants she met. Pasita reminds us with her work that there is an equal honoring of immigrants. European immigrants are more welcome than immigrants from Latin America, Asia, and Africa. With her work, she wants to honor immigrants coming from these regions, and the rich patchwork refers to the contribution from all cultures in American society. Do you know who is the father of the Philippine painting? Well, let me introduce you to Damian Domingo. Damian Domingo is remembered as the first Filipino painter to specialize in secular painting. He had a photographic memory and is well known as the creator of miniature portraits of Manila society figures. He established the first official Philippine Art Academy in 1821 in Tondo, Manila. 2 years later, he was invited to be the director of Academia de Dibujo, which was run by the Sociedad Económica de los Amigos del País. And because of him, a remarkable aspect of an academy was that it abolished racial discrimination, giving Spaniards, mestizos, and Filipinos equal standing and privilege. Damian Domingo's most notable art is the depiction of Tipos del País or Colección de Trajes, which was a popular way of showing the different inhabitants of the country. The vibrant clothing or costumes of the different personages also differentiated those living in the cities or provinces.
My perspective in our Filipino artists is that they use a genre to have significant thought in deciding the Filipino-ness of a thing of beauty essentially in painting. That thought was that the portrayal of scenes of daily existence and the environmental factors without glorifying them was nearest in soul to the Filipino soul and local soul. A great arrangement of the disarray in social personality comes from the way that Filipino craftsmanship has a place with the Western practice in its utilization of paint and different materials, as well as in such impacts as Impressionism, Expressionism, Surrealism, Cubism, Pop, Minimalism, and so on.
My perspective as an artist is there is a widespread misperception that being an artist necessitated with creative skills. This is not true because many artists across the world were not born with the creative skills that some appear to become with. The truth is that some people are gifted than others, whether it comes from sketching, painting, sculpture, or music. Just because you were not born with a natural talent for sketching does not mean that you were not developed an art.
My perspective as an artist, throughout researching about the work of art of the Filipino artists, I've learned that there are meanings behind their artwork. They are not just simply making, but also showcasing their passion, emotions, and hard work. I always admire them because in the way of art, there are countless of inspirations they share with the Filipinos seeing their artwork. Even understanding our history in the past because of their artwork that mainly showcases that situation in the past. My perspective as an artist toward this artwork gives me an inspiration that there are many ways to show your emotions, and also you have the freedom to your artwork. I'm amazed that they can deliver their story towards their artworks.